yuka kumigoti awena tena sapapa iyeleliye natulalolela nena myati iyelelisa tuli chose tuli na mwe bantu mukamucho nae anashira na pali we mutima ukatutuma mukamucho nae anashira na pali we mutima ukatutuma kanaloleza mafika yobe ayana kama makwatichiri kanaloleza mafika yobe ayana kama makwatichiri tungulonde isakumobe iyeleliye bisendikate kulisisasa iyeleliye mukamucho natekeko mutima wandi kwena mayo wanyu wano mukamuchona yangwe au nangubanga kila pale yote munanga Kashimwana bila ichusha kulibe kakale ni kulimandi Kashimwana bila ichusha kulibe kakale ni kulimandi Alateki kupe tumatuti kwenu twapapatila tutumu kwa la pamulungu Alateki kupe tumatuti kwenu twapapatila tutumu kwa la pamulungu Mpewa njia kamera iyeleliye Ukutona tebulele iyeleliye Chakabili shima wadi ya kabwela Shima wadi Mama, Kerila neka, dekulu, kama bwana kukanale. Chikulu, nangu mule kumbwa, mapita, yandi, mule ichusha, yabano mwine, ishima wati, wilaya mijiga, matwele. Ano kwa waya, sita kono lubango, Usha temolo kambi wakumi abo inshimusha. Yeah.
Hello. Good evening, Chwempala. Elias Musha here, and I'm coming to you live from TV Bakwetu Studios here in Calgary, Alberta. TV Bakwetu, of course, is housed in my law firm, so Chambers, and it's also houses TV Bakwetu. Thank you very much for joining me. For all of you that need to share our link, please do so. And please don't forget to share with as many people as possible, because tulefwa chile diva around here. Okay. Today we are late in coming because na chiba kumilando. Ain so nomba ero na wera. And so we've got to figure how these things will be working out. We should become full time. Turekefia Milandu. Turekefia Milandu. Tureisafie live on TV Bakwetu for the rest of our lives. Number one, you know, because you don't send. If you send stars, tukareka. You know what is caught. I'd have won a jackpot. So na reko kuisa kumirando. At why? You know, I'm very busy. At judge, what's going on? A lawyer, nishta mule monekera kono kumirando. No, I'm extremely busy with TV Bakwetu. Right? So we need to do that. Send stars if you can, because TV Bakwetu is here for you. And so today, in fact, I think we are the only TV program is extremely late. When you have retired to sleep, retired to sleep, that's when naivotwaisa. Wafia sana. So we have several of our friends and my moderator Jerome Kanika is going to take over shortly, because ngawagwera fe kumilando, and then you go to TV Bakwetu. I must go back and do a little more things. So our work is not just about appearing in court. If you to in the background, if you're lawyer, not court. Court. Anyone can do that. Number, it's a lot more work in the background. You prepare, and then after court ends, number, you prepare to report. Noklondo I'm a client say for chachiva. Because now so now you've got to spend a lot more time. What that meant is that. So if and so our resident pharmacist is going to take over, because when so it's very easy for him. And not only that, but we do have several other friends. Gladys will also be there. So it will be Jerome and Gladys moderating today's discussion. But as usual, I like having a little bit of a monologue so that nachitako input my own opinion. Because we can't just have opinion yenu as our TV Bakwetu friends. One or two things. Okay. So we understand that opposition, this is so funny. Opposition Secretary General of Opposition Patriotic Front Secretary General Davis Mwila has been summoned by DEC. I'm not yet familiar with all the details, but it's just hilarious that he's been summoned. A few weeks ago, when we were advising the Patriotic Front government, what we were telling them was, be fair, right? How many of you remember that? we were asking them twale balomba nokupapata twale papata nokukunkula twale kunkula twebere imwe bane just be fair bantu if you mule chitaba nenu lero mailo nimwe efe bakola chitakulima ala we pleaded nomba tabale umfwa yo. Some of you want us to move on at your tulabeko over the patriotic front nomba, you know, because this is what used to happen. Ingani finshi ifyo tatuala ndere. Ngani advise nshio tatuwa bapede. Ngakupa pata nshoko tatuwa papede. Tuwa papati. La imweba lungu, imweba President Lungu. Just be fair. Model proper leadership to the police. Show them that they can't just be arresting people. Vaika to muntu balonga. No. Na vakapokola bene to abachita challenge. Vakapokola. If you learn that you've got power to arrest anyone, fiamu fi. Mulebe pofi. We did that. Tables have now turned. Ombaganshi, the PF Secretary General, could DEC. It's extremely sad. This is not like you know. She very jovial. No, I'm extremely disappointed. Because could take a few win, could take a chalo, very simple and straightforward. Could take a win. That's it. We're not asking for very, very complicated things that you know. It's very simple. When you have power and you are the ruling party, simple. Just be fair. That's all. Is it too much to ask? Munjabeko, is it too much to ask to say, you know, just be fair? Abamwambo kuchusha maironga bateka nabo bene bakamuchusha. Was it too much to ask? So number tuambe ko, what are we going to do? What are we going to do towards the Davis win? Atu ko yaga kana ku DEC. That we should even be bueno, but we understand that a lot of money used to exchange hands with Davis Wheeler involved, allegedly. Allegedly, Panto I'm a lawyer. Allegedly. And he's still innocent until proven guilty. But from the pattern of his behavior, to Arimwenogobat is an arrogant guy, has no direction, no take a wino. And that is what brings us here. So what should we do? What should be our attitude towards the UPND government? We continue holding them accountable, you know? Now, just be fair. It's very simple. Fair. That's it. That's what we are going to continue saying. And the other thing is, parties should be very realistic. Like when you ask my UPND, some of my fellow Facebook commentators, when you ask them to say, what happened? They think that what led to the win, right? Because that's one of the things. The questions that are being asked. How did the UPND win? Right? How did the UPND win? Many people think that the UPND won because the UPND had such a tremendous focus on issues. You see the thing? So it appears like not even supporters of the we that supported the UPND have grasped exactly what happened. And we think that it is because of our brilliant programming and our brilliant messaging and our brilliant focus on the issues that led to the UPND winning. It will be a huge mistake if the UPND started thinking like that. Right? Now, it's not even the economic hardships that led to the UPND winning or the PF losing. No. Zambians are willing to sacrifice, if at all. That is what has happened in a country. What led to the UPND win was that the people had gotten extremely tired of the hypocrisy of the Patriotic Front and theft and insensitivity to the suffering of the people. Not the suffering of the people, but insensitivity. When people were voting, they were not voting because they could not afford a meal. They were voting because they could not afford a meal. But what they saw in their leaders was total arrogance and lack of listening. That is what led to the Patriotic Front losing by 1 million votes. So UPND should be very, very, very humble, you know, very humble. It's not because of the brilliance, because 2.8 million voters in Zambia, they don't even know the manifesto. They don't even know the manifesto. What is in the manifesto of the UPND? Nothing. They don't know it. I asked on Facebook, guys, why did you vote for the UPND? And they'll tell you. They don't know. And so it's not this grand program. Let's reduce it down a little bit. Fairness and focus. The Patriotic Front lost that sense of fairness. Completely lost it. And particularly Kumatelo towards the elections, it even became much more pronounced. He is an out-of-touch leader. Stands up and says, Udyanka Mwikata, Ashuka fite Rwanda, Nganali Mushuta, Shan. That is what led people towards this massive defection towards the UPND. And so what are we asking? Regardless of what portfolio you have in this new government, that's what we are going to be telling them. Fair, you know, you know, in a fair manner, not if you're covered, it's that complicated. No. All right. So to Komfuako Kokuriba PF Secretary General, now he becomes an extremely weak guy. Extremely weak. Opposition. Powerless. Completely powerless. In a demonvira no say. Davis Mwai. Naba opposition leader Edgar Lungu. Nabo benen demonviros. And each of them na bashuka bali kwatako na Bombasa, you know, immunity. Bombasa immunity. Otherwise, Oluse. Because now investigators are going into the records. These guys were stealing. So it's very sad, and we hope that the law enforcement agencies, they are receiving a very good indications from the head of state. Remember, the head of state is the chief law enforcement officer in a country. President Naga in the Hitler. Not if you ever long but I'm detached from the security forces. No, you are the commander in chief. So number two, just be fair. And I think that's the message they are receiving. We hope that they are going to be fair, investigate these matters, and bring those matters that are covered. Investigate, there is reasonable suspicion that a crime was committed. They're going to take them to court, and thieves and kelenkas should be convicted. I hope so. Otherwise, witch hunt na inata tulefuaya or something like that. Otherwise, chavi pasana. Ulusekuli Davis mwina. Too bad. Anyway, tomorrow is opening of Parliament, and so we look forward to that. I've seen that Mr. Shapa Wakunguma is ADC to President Hakainde Hichilema, and he's going to make his debut tomorrow at the opening of Parliament. Congratulations, Mr. Wakunguma, and all the best. I know that you serve your commander-in-chief very, very well. Keep it up. We are proud of you. We had Mr. Wakunguma right here on TV Bakwetu some weeks ago, and so we are very proud that he's one of the TV Bakwetu alumni, and he's back in the police service and is going to serve our new commander-in-chief. We wish him all the best. Shapa Wakunguma, the one who did extremely well in the police, and then, of course, the Patriotic Front government, in its tradition of retiring, Northwestern Province, they retired him and fired him. It was very sad. Anyway, we'll get back to that. Dr. Chimbakambwiri, Mr. Chimbakambwiri has been acquitted. Of course, we knew that all those charges he was facing, they were all politically motivated. Much of it, right? Because the Patriotic Front wanted to fix him, and so they created all sorts of things against him. It's very sad. I just hope that we are not going to have such things in the UPND government of coming up with charges against people in order to break them. That's why Chimbaka Mbwidi now was so broken that he had to begin singing out of the tribalist book of the Patriotic Front. I hope that he's going to reflect on his life and try to redeem himself a little bit by apologizing. I hope so. If not, we wish him all the best. I think it was very good, and he had very good lawyers like Gilbert Piri, Mwemba, you know, all those lawyers, wonderful Tonga lawyers who helped save him, you know, and of course Mr. Christopher Mundia and several others, giving you an indication that we are actually one country, and they worked very hard to acquit him on about 30 charges of fraud, theft, nafimbi. Anyway, he's innocent. He must be very happy. Imagine, you were supposed to be in jail for 10 years. I don't know, that you are free to go. Imagine the happiness that is going to be with you. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to look at some of the comments here, and then I'm going to bring our moderators today and see how far we can go. Mbewe says that's when they are going through the manifesto. I told you, right? So the UPND needs to be extremely careful here, right? Ndemiyeba kofie mwimfudirwa. Ndemipanda kofia mano. Nga vya tuwale panda mano ba PF ero ba vipulula. Ifo tule ba panda mano pena ba vipulula. Mwamone vya chitika. Anyway, so that's when people are actually reading the manifesto. They didn't read before, but they voted anyway. So it's important to listen. What exactly went wrong, right? Yeah. Yes, that's Bombasa Gaidi. That's what it is. We want to see Mwiram Jain. As long as it's a fair process, we are okay with that. Bantu kwena, just be fair. When you are ruling a chalo, just be fair, chapwa. That is all we are asking. Just be fair. You know, that's it. We are not asking ifingi atishani. No. Asike thanked our President Bali, of course. Sharper, that's a very good thing, Valikezo. Very, very good for, yeah. And how many times? 70 times 70. FAS wala andire. And how many times should we forgive people? 70 times 70. Yeah. Brendamson, you and Paku needs to be given jobs. We need you here to add flavor. We already have jobs, Mwevo. We already have jobs. And then we have TV Bakwetu. So who needs anything else? We will be saving the country through TV Bakwetu. How about that? Imagine, so we should leave TV Bakwetu? No. We are also providing a public service through this broadcasting. Alaboafia. Congratulations to Sharper, indeed. That's good. What about the president? I think they will investigate him. Yeah. Bamusha, please advise openly UPND. Yeah. That's why we are advising, right? We are taking up that role of speaking to the people every day, and we know that our views get picked up by important people, and we hope that they are going to implement some of the things that we talk about. Yes. Mwamba kwefema irrelevant ba malambo. Mwamba kokuleta mo ulukusu. We are talking about important things. Imwe mwana mufyo ulukusu. I think Shamenai ni mbwele kulusaka baka ese mkumkusu. Yeah. Au uriyo mulumendu alinkusula mwe. Alawafi. Alinkusula. Imagine. Inedemu ina innocent. Okwisa tampa fyo kumkusu. You know, I noticed problems. Immediately I sat there. Now, mona fifuambo kuchitanjevere. Oh no, bako usula chap. And I think it was very good. So no mbashamen again. Yeah. Professionalism pays, yes. And I'm becoming an ambassador in Canada. Because these positions started when I returned back to Zambia. I took that picture with candidate Hakainde Hichilema, and you guys gave me jobs. You gave me Justice Minister, Attorney General, Chief Justice. No mama watampa kwa ambassador to Canada. Awe tuikolomu tuet we are like thing. No. Yeah. Congratulations, Honorable KBF Chief Legal Advisor to the New Dawn government, the Zambia we want. What are you talking about? Has he been given that role? No, he hasn't. I don't think he has. Yeah. About John Sangwa citing president to breach. I don't think it's a breach of the constitution in Epalwandi. I really don't think it's a breach of the constitution, right? I think for something to be a breach, it has to be, no, it's not a breach. The constitution says the president is going to make ministries. Ministries. Of course, they're subject to ratification. Number apanga. The business of governing should continue. Why should it wait until ratification? You know, there was no issue there. I think you should have just gone on and insisted. They are ministers. That's it. Yeah. Let's do the program. I wonder what had been discussed. No, we've just started Ranchi Mwaka. We've just started. Yeah. Having discussed labor practices like casualization, I think we are going to talk about it. Casualization has been discussed from the SATA government up to today. Tough. Yeah. Daniel Mtopi, the Ugandan who likes, you enjoy our articulation of the issues. That's why we are here. But please forgive us when you hear us go into one of the dialects. Enjoy it. You're African. So you need to learn some of our dialects. I also need to learn your dialect. I don't know what dialect it is in Uganda, but I hope to learn and understand each other a little bit. I know that some Ugandans are non-Bantus, others are Bantu, and then Bantus have certain similarities in the language. I don't know. Yeah. As long as you are giving us stars, if you give us stars, then we can expand ourselves to DSTV. But without stars, Ninja, we are just a Facebook, TV, and YouTube. Chapwa. Okay? Thank you very much. And this is already like 30 minutes. And so I've got to bring in Mr. Jerome Kanika, who is going to take over and moderate parts of our discussion. Because like I told you, I must go back into something else. Mr. Kanika.
Good evening, Council.
How are you doing? Now, I do understand that you had a very hot discussion 2 days ago. What was that about?
Oh, I don't know. I've even forgotten what the discussion was about. I think it should be about the appointments and all that. And the PhDs and all that. No issues of, Dr. Kasonso it's something else with the PhDs. But I think that was it was about appointment, especially the people are questioning about the issue of the Minister for Health and the Honorable Felix Mutata about their appointment, where I was telling them to say, look, the people thought like first Masebo, she's like a medical personnel, but she's not a medical personnel. She's in finance and whatever profession. Yeah, then they were asking and tried to find out why they chose, and I was, I think, guiding the people to say, to be a cabinet minister, you need to be an MP, and to be an MP, you just need to be to have a grade 12 certificate. That's all. So provided you are a grade 12 certificate and you are MP, then you are very much highly qualified to be appointed as a minister in whatever ministry, including justice, Bamunji.
Oh yeah. And I have no problem, because I believe that to govern a country, all you need amano ya kwalesa. That's what I believe. Now,
yeah,
in order for you to be a doctor, yes, you must not be chikwakwa. That I understand. So what we are saying is to provide leadership kuchalo, ufulewa kwata amano ya kwalesa, amano ya chifyarirwa, amano ya kwalesa.
Yeah.
Common sense. That's all we need. Not if academic qualifications are not the primary judge in if you're naishwa. However, if you have to do a technocratic job, you definitely need qualifications.
You need the qualifications.
Doctor, lawyer, analyst, any of those, you must be qualified in that area. But
Yes.
to provide leadership kuchalo, if you are a politician, if you're not, and this idea about technocrats make better politicians is wrong.
No, I think for me, since a politician look after the educated and the uneducated, I think someone with the average education of being a grade 12 for me fits well to relate with everyone, the uneducated and the educated. But just like you have mentioned, to do a technocratic work, yes, you need now to have the education now, the education which we go to school for, the degrees, the masters, the PhDs. Those you need them once you're doing such kind of work. But leadership, no wonder the Bible says leadership at what they say, leadership comes from God, is it not so? Yeah. So
so just so you know, in about 14 days, I'm having a viva on my PhD, and after the viva, we'll come and discuss my PhD dissertation, because I wrote on church and state relations. Even if I will be doctor, but I'm just a doctor from Chuempala, I believe Moody leadership, I don't think that my PhD would make me a better leader. It might make me a better theologian. It might make me a better informed historian and political analyst. Kainge theology on church and state relations in Zambia, it involves Zambian politics, Zambian history, Zambian religious background, Christianity, and law. I might be, yeah, but that does not immediately translate into good leadership. I hope that if I were ever to aspire for leadership in Zambia, it will not be because of my PhD. It will be because of how much I love my country, how much I'm willing to help the little person from my Ikuli, more than all these academic qualifications we've amassed for ourselves.
Yeah, I think I agree. I agree with you. Now, coming back to, I've seen the topics that you have raised. Bamunsha, first let me say, ada kwikara mu Zambia panomba umu Zambia na ichepa, especially Ngoa River.
And so
yes.
But President Abachan.
Ba president na be noko bakunanika ne baya kuba nanika ne nokuyapunda tiyo twalachita audit mu market nempya shidosho bakore kiti akade isho tabachita account for if people need to. So I kata fido mbeni twachawe, my God, no papa ushaba mutuka bakobwera mu Zambia because Barusaka City Council basala ndati ku city market kweka tulesenda ngani 200 eswa ngani 200 ngani shinge obapundire lya per man per day eyo 12 mana yena ku city market kweka nomba before takulaba city market uliatabala chitako tabala poka city market vale senda 80 pin. So now there is a difference of 120 oyo bafile ba president balanda file to ashitali cover no kuyapunda futi ati no. Actually the banks should find other modes and means of restricting use of cash, but they should be using the electronic way of the na ikata muntu ati ma yowe muture kuno.
But Gladys.
Yes.
But Gladys, na mumfefi chitike, PF Secretary General, opposition, you know, but Gladys, this is very humbling. Who knew that we would ever refer to the Patriotic Front as an opposition party? So, the Secretary General of the Opposition Patriotic Front has been is being questioned by DEC.
Good evening, viewers, and good evening, everybody. I'm not really surprised, and I probably think Davis Muilabene, it's a big shock to what has happened, and also that they took Zambia as their own not their bedroom but their toilet, because toilet is a private thing, nobody would come into it. So
what did you say? No. What did you say, Gladys? What did you say?
I'm going to repeat again, because majority of the people have been saying that don't take Zambia from the previous regime. Don't take Zambia as your own bedroom. Bedroom kutilimbina ulwala waleta kona abantu atiseni mwingiremo, but they took it as their own toilet, which is very private, and that's why I'm sure it's a shock to Davis Muila that he has been questioned. There has been a lot of stealing in the PF regime, and I hope that a lot of them, they'll be answerable. They'll be answerable. It's not the president's duty. The institutions who are capable of doing it, they should make sure that they return all the monies. And like Jerome said, that that thing of replacing the machinery in this virtual world, just to comment a little bit on it, I know that's not the topic. That would be a very, very, very good idea to remove people from accessing the cash, and it will help the country to recover. It's a very big investment, but it will help the country to recover. Putting up machines ba Davis Muila tabaka fumya nangu ni ira ine nankane machine ati bato bebala sanga mama coin iyo tabaka yasange. The government can also can make an arrangement with the phone subscribers, whereby the marketeers, because it should be intuitive, the marketeers can be paying through mobile pays, for example, and some of the people who have access to their bank accounts, they can pay through bank accounts. Just very, very simple, like we do parking. I'm sure, Muisha, you have an idea of the parking system in the Western world. You register your number. In this case, you just have to punch in the card. Ngababa pela babi kamuli machine ba maeba na market. My mother is a marketeer. I'm very happy that she's been given an opportunity.
Yeah,
yes.
My aunt, we come from a marketeer family.
Yes, and that thing of collecting, bale chita collecti impia, esho ba tuchuliro kula tutwali na kuma skulu. On top of that, bale senda nan kane levy, because there are three categories. Abale ababaka bola from the previous regime. Kwali baka pokola, the so-called cadres baka pokola, and even just the youth cadres. Council workers also has to be cleaned up in this case. Council workers are so leaders benyabo example abo benyabo abale pangana nkane Zambia kwatini toilet yabo. They are the ones culprits. Ba nga bafumya kwenda lamesho ko batibale amukulipira omuntu. We don't need police people to be at the market to go umkulonda tiniba nani balipile. No, we don't need that. those police people, they should be diverted. Bambo kula mona bakabola ala bene mpupu ishine isho bala senda. Then they will have that discipline. It's also a process of ukuchinja culture, ukubanani honesty, because then it will be expensive at the end of the day. Tabali pirenga nika 10 kwacha for that stand. Then it will be more expensive ungatabali pire baba esho kubepa tilimbi nalabo shabakapokola tabakuli bakapokola bakubosha nangukado wakubosha nangu banani kane abo bene abali kuma bus stop baba akalamba ba milimo takuli kuya fe bayali piromo mwine chapwa bagwela ko tapali ulesa mkula bepusha lilianga bala isa mkula pitamo balabe no batuletira cadres, whether PF or UPND cadres, the youth balabe no baingishe nchito eba alaya mkula pitamo for them kuya fe mkumonanga na abapitamo na bali bapelana ka machine kabo akakweba ati bifiranga na barcode yako atanga na tu ya mashop bachita fe click bamona to iyi receipt number mkwete ne inafi palana tabake beba Davis mwila yo tabaka bwere no kubwera.
Yeah, anyway, that's
before I think to agree with Gladys, I think it's very sad that the opposition mighty SJ of the Patriotic Front, Davis Mwila.
No, I want you to say it slowly, Jerome, because this thing, what did you say? The what? The opposition?
Patriotic Front. No, not Patriotic Front. Mighty Patriotic Front. SG Secretary General Davis Mwila is questioned, and the Parika video can security. First to start with, but Davis Mwila 2 days ago, but phone kurima uko Naomi na nkwenka shiandi teta mashim awe na nkwenka shiandi aba kadi na tawe na mukurima tatureba fuwa awe Naomi kwe na se na nkwenka shiandi kuba kada to retire, and I should go do farming. Naomi na nkwa tawe ine na badi mi banandi tuami kado kwisa farming. No. After Baba Kanakuri Naomi, after Baba Kanakuri Naomi, what next? What my deck Baba said?
No, Naomi, I think Gladys, please get in touch with Naomi. Tell her that we want her here to come and explain why she has rejected Opposition Secretary General Davis Mwila from farming. I think it's very difficult. And as a fair person, nasanga mokufirwa in what Naomi has said. So, but Gladys, we are going to ask you this responsibility. Please bring Naomi here. Tell her that we are summoning her to TV Bakwe, to courts, to come and explain to us why she has rejected a fellow citizen from farming.
Kutibaya ibesa bidion seba shitisho kushitisha kumana madam.
Anyway, I'm the only one who is going to side on behalf of rights here. It looks like Jeremy and Gladys, you are not good people. You don't want this gentleman, and so Chabi Pasa.
Bamu shawe ngeto malande shawe mwatu bepesha inete kachi mpenko vya mpilipili na I got the ndandile tokwene nde start report ifya chilanda ba Naomi to say awe kwena ifwe twabakana na mukubulimi after ba Naomi babakana twamfotya over date yuko abe bange baba pounds my friend so I'm still asking for to a date about 20.
Anyway, somebody says that they're missing General Chipakupaku. We also miss him, and he'll join us soon. Don't worry, he's in good hands. Now, I've got to go. I'll be in the background and monitoring everything. Nicho feel to my responsibilities anymore. Number about beauty.
Why?
Mujibi happy because we did not hear from you yesterday.
tuchitu burongo yaya nkito yaya nkito twajinga na kusebenza late kesha. So that's why you couldn't see us. I'm not Kaonde, I'm Lunda. What's wrong with you, Bamusha? The fact that I can speak so many languages. What language you want to speak me? You want me to speak
Mdingai mwani.
Kabo tu mwagabu ti ba Jerome. Amwamba tu hwe. Ensha ambulele ambulele sha luka utwa.
You're welcome. Now we're going to be joined by several others. But now mumfuati it was not bedroom but toilet. Now mumfuati
this Gladys we have. This Gladys, I was just laughing in the background. I said, Gladys, where did you get that language from? Now I PF bene. To somebody shot in poop.
In poop. But Rose, there are so few women in the cabinet. I'm concerned. Therefore, I have Anamayo in cabinet. What do you think?
Even myself, because yesterday I couldn't come because I was working. Na inewe nepumulela ndaba bamwete section required. Bashitata bachila movu. Weshe ko bana mai because bana mai sometimes women bali kwata koruse nangwalepo okutirebe aisa kiteki bashitata benange bepete na pali badivisi. Na inewe I support abachilanda atibeisa mukuli beisa because so we don't want that. I would love if the president is listening, that we need more women to be ministers. If it can happen, I'll be happy.
Yes, thank you very much. I think I'm very happy that at least we agree on that point. We need women. We need women ministers. But Beauty, do you agree?
I do, but you know where I stand. As long as they're doing a great job, that's what matters to me. As long as, yes, we've already come to an agreement that they have to be, at least the grade 12. I'm okay with that. But as long as they can deliver, that's all that matters to me. Thank you. That's all that matters to me. Yes, I'm all about education. I study all the time. I'm probably be. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Jerome. Tomorrow there is the conference, the ceremonial opening of Parliament, and so I'm going to leave you in the able with a very good panel here. Please take it up. Thank you. I'll be in the background.
Thank you, Council Munsha, for giving me this opportunity to moderate these people. But now, from the way Gladys has already brought the issues of the toilet and the issues of Davis, I'm telling you something else. But Patrick, what is your say over? What is the take? Opposition Secretary General, opposition might PF Secretary General. Baveta kuri badeke ati yo iseni mlondolole nkuri bamlefayo nkuri mabusheri bange nango nimpya mwaibire badeke tabatwebere fo babetire nabapisa bati bashire sitape mention ati ndefo nkya mukulima badeke babasenda bushere fish. Unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself.
Thank you, Jeremy. Good evening, the panel. Good evening, viewers. I was laughing in the background. What if Jerome now Gladys smokes today? It looks like mule paper double more in our Davis Mwila. Yeah, Jerome, it's not a surprise. Davis Mwila actually prophesied. I don't know whether you saw the article in the Mast. I've actually posted it on Facebook today, where he was saying that they have to campaign so hard because if they lose, they will end up in prison. So I think Davis Miller knew what he was talking about. Yeah, so I'm not surprised to learn that Davis Muller has been questioned by DEC, because I saw one article on Facebook today, posted by one of the PF guys. He used to be a UPND guy, Shaka Fuswa. I think you know him. He's an MP for PF. He was saying PF shouldn't rush to appoint the leaders or the presidents and the vice president, because whoever they're gonna appoint in the party now, they'll end up in prison. That's Shaka Fuswa. And I was so shocked. So, I think the most important thing is we shouldn't witch hunt. If DEC finds that Davis Muller is wanting, he has done something wrong, he needs to face the wrath. And if he has stolen something, we need to recover that. Because it's not just arresting these people, we need to recover the money. Like the markets, I cannot believe the money the council is collecting now. But the question is, who was taking the money? If it was the PF taking the money, then the PF needs to pay back the money. You never know, maybe that's what is questioned. Because where was the money going to? All that kind of money. So maybe that's the money Davis Muller bought a farm, he has developed a farm, and he wants to go farming. And then unfortunately, our sister, is it Tentemashimba? Naomi.
Yeah, but now, yes.
Doesn't want him to go farming because he's like, they don't want people like him to be farmers. And then Gladys mentioned one point which I talked about in one of our was there. Still, there will be corruption on the because the kind of money collected on the markets, and imagine all the markets in Lusaka, including Intercity, I think it's 500,000 kwacha a day. And if that money is collected by people, the normal people, people they can be tempted to steal. I think one of the things this government needs to do is to we've got a what do you call Ministry of Technology, and everything needs to be digitized, digital everything. Collecting money at the market there can be two things. They can use mobile money to pay, mobile phones to pay, or they can ask banks to open mobile banks, so that every marketeer, every bus driver, every person passing through the toll gate, they can pass a law. You cannot get paid without a bank account. And having a bank account, which means you've got a card, a bank card. So when you're passing through the toll gate, the policeman stops you. The policeman can have a machine which you can swipe the card, or you can use the phone and pay and give you the receipt. So nobody should collect cash. If that happens, even toll gates, cash can be stolen at the toll gates. Instead of somebody would get the cash, don't give you the receipt. And that should happen. And you'll see what's going to happen. Things like, even at the borders, instead of somebody paying cash, because it's easy to bribe paying cash, people can pay using the mobile phone or use the card. Because like in the UK, in the UK, nobody gets paid without a card. So everybody can pay using it. I was caught a few months ago parking in the yellow line. I had to use a card to pay. So I didn't pay the policeman the cash. He gave me the receipt and I paid by card. So that needs to stop. And then Bamusha mentioned about how the PF lost the elections. I think the PF, they were so arrogant. And they were so corrupt. Imagine 52 people dying, gassing. I remember the president going into parliament, assuring the nation that he's going to bring to book whoever was involved in gassing. Some policemen announced that they've arrested the culprits. The next thing, that policeman was transferred. And that's the end. Can you believe it? 52 people dying. That's arrogant. That's how arrogant they were. They didn't care. And they expected those people to vote. Anyway, let me leave some other people to talk. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Bachilufia. Yeah, I think my points, Master, is yes, they are very much serious and very much varied. But yes, the PF lost because they are too much arrogant, and they still can't believe that they lost the elections. But it's a UPND government which is there, and as we all know very well, the president is on top of things, and is talking things that are very much practical. And like your point you have said, where using of cards, when you saw today's Facebook post by the president, he encouraged Bank of Zambia to find ways and means to reduce the cash transaction, but we go the electronic way. So me, I'm very much worried about those PF cadres who have buried the money. Anyway, Bachama, but please say something, please.
Hapana chitafaya vamusha vakubale kutika vachite ka break 2 seconds vangu vefyondefo okulanda pantu mwachintekunya iwena vamusha va Jerome namuntekunya na vamusha wese. Qualifications, I still maintain that. The reason I say I still maintain about the qualifications is, as I've kept on saying about Bowman Lusambo, we don't want ministers like Bowman Lusambo. You tell me what Bowman Lusambo did. You tell me anything whereby they give Bowman Lusambo things written and he has to read and understand what's written. You tell me what he understood. Nothing, as far as I'm concerned. That's the main reason you need somebody. I don't need a minister to have a doctorate. No. Let's not mix things up. All I need with a minister, yes, Form 5 certificate. For me, that's a minimum for a minister. For an MP, that's fine. For a minister, minimum, yes, that Form 5, it's minimum. But at least you need something on top of that. Ka degree, that's my opinion. You don't need to have a master's or a doctorate. No. Just a degree to help you understand some of the languages. When I say languages, I mean if you've read contracts, I guess Jeremy and Musha, you guys have read contracts before. There are some wordings sometimes. If you are just a mere Form 5, you won't understand the wording of those things. That's what I believe when it comes to qualifications to be a minister. I don't want another Bowman Lusambo. Another example I can give you, let's go back to MMD, the first time MMD came into power. Yeah, check the ministers who were there. They were not, yes, they were very, very educated. Actually, those guys some of them had masters. Yeah, those qualifications was to just help them read. Because even the way our law has been written, it's kind of difficult to understand. Now imagine if the lawyer understand law because of the way the law has been written. Now imagine just a Form 5 Mamuvika minister, Minister of Justice. It's because they were not understanding the things which were written in there. That's my opinion when it comes to qualifications over a minister. Now, let's go back now to the actual topic we are here for. SG. Actually, to be honest with you, for me, they were supposed to also get that manager from Soweto market, city market. He's supposed to be there because all those are all his people. Because let's go back, let's rewind a bit. SG for PF was like the kingpin, the drug lord for all the marketeers who were the Inoki, whatever, Innocent, and all of them were reporting to him and giving him money. He was the one even saying that after when we collect the money, 10% should go to the Lusaka City Council. Honestly speaking, that same secretary general, for me, actually, he wasn't supposed to be questioned. He was supposed to be thrown in the Chibwakaira the way they did to their friends. That's my opinion. Now I'm trying to be a bit ruthless like they were. You know, sometimes some of these people, if you treat them nicely, they don't understand. Because right now, everyone, I've heard even you, remember Jerome, some of the people in here, I've heard some of the people talking about the former president. Oh, he relinquished the power nicely. No, the guy didn't want to go. We have to be saying that as well. Just because nobody demonstrated about him giving power, we should be putting everything in front. That guy didn't want to leave the post. He had to be not persuaded. He had to be told by the people who, e.g., the former president. So let's start saying things the way they are, not just because nobody demonstrated. The guy, he's a thief. And actually, I'm also waiting for him to be called by DEC. For now, actually, na wata sana namba no kumfwechi. Na like
sorry, but Jerome, I think looking at the time also, you can just kindly try, sorry, my bed is making a lot of noise. Can you please kindly just try to give each one some few minutes, maybe like 2 minutes, because looking at the time is getting too late. So that we give chance also to others to say something.
Okay, thank you, Gladys, for that. I think we have 2 more people who need to say something. Joanna Mubiana. Joanna, please say something. Joanna, please say something so that we can't get the Tobias Mutare. Say something, please. Tobias.
Thank you, Jerome, for giving me the opportunity. I think one of the things that I want to speak about is definitely the women in leadership, or the women that have been chosen. Yes, there are very few that have gone into the parliament, and also that have been appointed in the as ministers. So I think we must find other ways or other places or areas where women must be appointed. I think we can consider women being appointed as ambassadors to go abroad. I think they can represent us well if they become ambassadors, and also high commissioners. So the president must really think about other means of getting women into power. As I think it was Rose who said that there have been too much thieves. We need to get in women now also to try. So let's give a chance to women in that area. Also, other areas that I want to speak about is cash payments. I think we must stop paying cash, as I think Gladys also mentioned that we must stop using cash, because cash is very tempting. We must try to move to cards, the system of using cards for payment, for car parks, and also in the markets. There are transaction machines these days. You don't need cash always. In fact, cash is very inconveniencing. So let us try to use those transaction machines, especially at toll gates and also at the borders. I think Bachirufia also alluded to that we need to stop using cash, especially in places like toll gates and also at the borders. In fact, Bamunsha should also prepare another topic where we speak about corruption in ministries, in the hospitals, at the border posts, the police service. In the police service, I think there is something going around on social media speaking about how the police has been warned by our president to say they must not the president, maybe the police commissioner, that the police must stop being corrupt, but also the public that has been giving bribes to the police must also stop bribing them. Why the PF lost? Yes, I agree with those who have said that the leadership became very arrogant. It is true, but also there was lack of leadership, total lack of leadership. For instance, we see now that we are speaking about corruption. It's because our leaders are already condemning corruption. But during the PF time, those people were collecting taxes at the market and the leadership was not speaking about. So that's why Bamwila has been picked, because they were benefiting. And I think if this crackdown is continued, a lot of people are going to be found wanting. The other thing that I think Bachama is very passionate about, we must also, I think, change the narrative on education. Zambia, we have very low levels of education. If you go in the rural areas, you'll be surprised how many people don't go to school. And it is worse for girls. So Form 5 is important, but we also must advocate for tertiary education, because as many have said and many have repeated, Form 5 is really minimum. It's not enough. Grade 12 is not enough, especially noting that our education is not so good. Some of us, I still remember a lot of people, we leave Form 5 or matric without properly even reading, without even properly, well, English is not our mother tongue. But we
conclude,
okay, thank you, Jerome. I think this is the last point. So what I'm saying is, grade 12 is important, but let's also encourage tertiary education, because that's where we really acquire a lot of skills. I think I can end there.
Thank you. No, don't go. We'll definitely come back. I can see Womkera is here. Womkera, say something about today's topic. We are talking about the opposition patriotic front SG being called by the DEC for investigation. Let me mention here that the Drug Enforcement Commission have not mentioned why Davis Miller was called upon to go to their offices. So in this situation, we cannot say it's because of money of city market or whatever. No wonder some are market money. Me, I'm saying maybe by the phone because tabatwebe ofo babetire ba nankan ba Davis Miller, but he's being investigated on by the Drug Enforcement Commission. The reason for him being summoned, it has not been explained. Then we have issues of Mwine Wachisushi, also known as CK, being acquitted with all the cases, and also the tomorrow's opening of parliament by the head of state. So we need to maybe give each other, like Gladys guided, that let's give each other 2 minutes to discuss some of these. Then we have more rounds of for each other. I think we only have about 20 minutes before this program comes to an end. So, Chief, you are on the floor now.
Thank you very much for Jerome. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes.
All right. Litumezi kimanzibwani mana baisu mambombo yaliambai wako Western Province. That is lovely. Na sepa kafela mina mwazuwa hande. Na disikazuwa hande Nani Maswabi, I lost my brother-in-law yesterday. That's why I'm a little bit maintaining a low profile, and my video won't be shown. I'll just be using my voice.
Sorry about
Um,
that, Mkelebai.
with two minutes time. Thank you.
My sincere condolences, Mkelebai.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much.
Condolences,
Tusen tak, tusen hjärtligt tack. Just to speak on the issue of the SG being interrogated, or rather investigated or questioned, I'm not surprised. This is one where Mr. Hakainde, His Excellency, promised that those people will be able to answer to all these questions that we used to ask, and definitely they will get there. Where they store mauzwize kimasholi aswana kutamiwa, if at all there are cases, and I'm pretty sure that the DEC, they are going to investigate these matters thoroughly, and for them to even have reached the point of approaching him, they must have enough probable cause. So it is a good thing, and we want everyone in the previous regime, and I'm happy that the parliament is opening tomorrow. Please, parliamentarians, the legislatures, you know what to do. You know how the state of the country in terms of economically, the way we have been reduced to almost the beggars. We don't have money. The 2 billion that we have in the coffers, it's not even ours. It's gonna go to China or to the Eurobond. We know, and we are totally broke. So the country is broke. But there are some chaps in that previous government that still are busy transferring money or borrowing money. We want these guys to professionally investigate and get them. Like I keep on saying, if these chaps want to come to the diaspora with the so-called money, we, the people that lives in diaspora, should open our eyes as well and keep vigilant. Report them, get them. But Tamiwe Masholi should go in their rightful place. There's nothing like Mangeke, because Mwema Zambian Marikotsana at Uluse Molalava Wangu at Christians under the pretext of Christianity. Menu abantu baleiva mulefo okulanda ati basakala besu ntu batumufuira oluse yo bakakeni ngakuba kaka bakakeni. When it comes to the issue that the other issue of what was the other topic you said? Was it anyway? Let me not go further.
YPF lost.
I mean, they lost. You know why they lost. Everyone knows. We wanted change. They were thieves. They were a bunch of criminals. I'm sorry to say, but they were total masholi. So we need to investigate all these matters and all these ministers that have been appointed. We want you guys, honorables, to pull up your socks and don't listen to, or don't get the bait of people that are corrupt. No more favors. Favoritism should be put in the past regime. Meritocracy should apply, but let's sweep the debt and put them in the right bin. Don't kill them, but let's teach them a lesson so that they are able to be rehabilitated. Maybe in the future they may start some farming elsewhere, not to farm Matokwan, but therefore they become good citizens that are able to deliver. Okay,
thank
Jerome, we can't hear you.
Okay, hello, can you get me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yeah, Isaac Chawinga, please say something.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, Isaac.
Thank you so much for. Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity once again. I'm excited because I think this is just the beginning, and starting with a big fish like the former SG, let me say the SG of the former ruling party. I think it's a good step. Let's start with the big fishes, and we go down the ladder until we round up even those people who are splashing money on their beds, insulting on social media.
Isaac, sorry, Isaac, just a moment. But Tobias, please, can you unmute yourself? Tobias, can you unmute yourself? There's a feedback coming. Mute yourself. Sorry, can you mute yourself, Tobias?
I think
Thank you.
about Joanna Mumbiana.
Joanna, mute yourself,
Mute.
please. Thank you. Isaac, can continue.
Okay, like I was saying, I said, starting with the big fishes and then coming down the ladder. We need all the people who have stolen from the country to be apprehended, taken through the due process of the law, and at the end of the day, we want to find ourselves recovering some of the monies that have been stolen. I think this is a good start for DEC. We want the anti-corruption also to go in. We want all the institutions, that are responsible, for bringing order and sanity in our political atmosphere, also in our social atmosphere, to jump on this bandwagon. They've been given the power now. Law enforcement agencies have been given the power to go and pursue whomever and whatever positions that they had don't matter anymore. So for me, I'm very excited. I want to hear more names. I want to hear more people being apprehended. So that's a good move. The second thing is that, aside from me being disappointed that there were some old people who are returned into the parliament, but I'm looking forward that when the president makes his speech tomorrow, he is going to reiterate certain things. First of all, to encourage the parliamentarians to expedite the ratification process, especially for the new ministries that were formed. The Ministry of Green Economy, the ministry that is responsible for small SMEs, and also I just want those ministries to be in full swing, science and technology, because these are the things that we need for our country. I wish I could show you my face, how excited I am right now, but my video is horrible today. I'm so excited, and I'm looking forward to going back home to start a company, because this is what is going to drive the prosperity of our country in the short run and in the long run. We've been lagging behind because we've had visionless leadership. We have had leadership that was not focusing on the right things, misplaced priorities, so to say, but we are on the right track. If you are not confident that we're on the right track, look at the ministries, look at the caliber of people that were chosen, and, just begin to see where our country is going to go. If you are thinking about arrogance, like my sister Gladys already said, ni bedroom, that one was the toilet issue now. So we are breaking down even the toilets. We are going to fish them out from wherever they are hiding, even if they are hiding in pit latrines, they need to pay. Thank you so much.
Okay, Musa, thanks Isaac for that. Musa, please say something in 2 minutes so that we give also time to Joanna. We hope this time the mic for Joanna will be audible. Musa, say something, please.
All right. So why did the PF lost the elections? It's because what everyone is saying, the guys became very arrogant. They thought Zambia was in their hands, and then they took Zambians for granted. Because for one, they couldn't allow us Zambians to speak out. Because if you speak out, they'll say they'll give you a case, defamation, all those laws which they brought in just to stop the citizens from talking. So as citizens, we kept quiet, and then we knew that it was time for us to bring in new people who are going to hold these people accountable to what they were doing. And this is what we are seeing today. And this is why the SG is being caught by DEC. We're trying to recover, trying to hold these people accountable for what they have done to the Zambian people, what they have done to Zambia itself. Because if you are to go out in the streets, a lot of people out there, they are suffering because these people, even the president himself, when you hear people complaining about hunger, the cost of living is getting high, they would say, if you can't bread, kandoro. How do you tell the people that you should start eating kandoro when they complain that things are getting expensive? And then the other one said, if you can't buy eggs, soya pieces. So you can imagine the arrogance, the audacity they had. So now karma is catching up with them. What goes around comes around. So they reap what they sow. They are reaping what they sow. And every day I'm getting happier and happier. I'm getting more excited with how things are moving. I'm looking forward to a day when the immunity of the president will be removed, so that he also can they can investigate him, so that we see. Because when he was becoming president, he had $2 million. I mean 2 million kwacha. But if you are to check his net worth today, you'd be shocked how much money he has. So we want to know where all that money came from. These people are going to pay. I think that's all.
Thank you. John Mubiana, please say something. I hope now you are very much okay. Can you say something, please?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, Joanna.
Yes.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So I would just like to touch on the probe on the SG. I think for some of us who are very impatient, it couldn't have come any sooner. Would like to get these people held accountable for all the money they've stolen. But also, I think it also just shows how porous and weak our financial system is, because it seems anybody can just deposit and withdraw money as they feel like, which in my view is very, very disappointing for our country. We have other countries where even just a normal person, if there are suspicious transactions on your account, it will be frozen immediately. You don't have to be a political figure for that to actually happen. So I think we definitely need to strengthen our financial institutions. And if any banking institution is found to have done anything wrong in abating these corrupt individuals, I think they should be fined. Because now we have a crisis. Now we do not have money in the economy because these people have withdrawn all this money. So I think these financial institutions should definitely be held accountable as well for abating all these people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Gladys, can you please guide the second round now? I've done my first round. We are the co-moderators here.
Before I just can I just comment on something concerning the women not in politics, not many women in politics.
Please go ahead.
Yes, as I heard Bamunsha also commented that why is it that we don't have so many women in politics? I mean, as we have seen from the previous government, I think we cannot even blame the president that he has not appointed many women into government. We can blame ourselves who were voting that we didn't vote many women to come into the government. And also, as a woman, we cannot blame ourselves. Looking at the politics before, it was my politics aba from the previous regime aba masampwiti. where Anama slay queens and the pangas and the guns, and how do you expect women to join the politics when where you are going to head on collision? It's very difficult to get into that kind of that type of politics. So we cannot amasampwiti ndi mwana kopala ini amasampwiti ndi mwana kopa belt nemo mwana shimaini. Yeah. I mean, it's only the people alleged again, Ukwiba, all those slay queens and all those thugs with prohibited guns and putting on also the state's uniforms. Those are the ones who were eager to get into the politics. Nama girlfriends, yeah, that's it. Otherwise, a normal thinking woman wouldn't get into such kind of dirty politics. But I think we're gonna see a lot of women getting into politics in the next few years, because now I think this is the beginning of the new dawn. So we expect a lot of women to come into politics, clean politics, not politics of chipante pante.
Gladys, paliyo ine issue yo y'abaana kashi to be involved. Problem yawa ku Zambia nalilandirepo na mairo tirati everything borders into our cultures. It's all starts from home. Charity begins at home. You see how girl child is treated Munganda, and you expect the kind of negation, the kind of putting a girl child as a secondary. Not she's limited. You give her limitation. You don't tell her to reach her goals, her dreams. But then you go and pick a boy and say, you are paria. It all starts from home. If we can lose this mentality or this mindset and start providing support and treat our young girl child as equal as and very important, then we will see a lot of change. It will still be the same from the time politics started in Zambia. Few women are involved. Even during a campaign, we want the government, when we form the government, we're going to bring women, to include women. Government lero. Most of the women that were supposed to stand into, or that stood, either they lost or they were actually sidelined or dropped. Or bambi balitina okutukwa filiama Zambian mwale tukawa Edith na we know she was. So you find people are scared to go into politics because of this. Nabalume babo bale bakanya wiyesha na okwesha kuingira mu politics. So ni mindset na ama customs, yes, to feel it watch the reform. Imama chief not ama chief justice, but local court justices na ama chiefs, ama indunas. Change these traditions, the customs, they are quite repugnant. Let's change them so that we bring sanity.
Thank you, Bamkeleba. I mean, change is you and me, though. It starts from you and me. If we don't change, we don't expect the president to. I mean, if we don't change the mentality and the culture, we don't expect the president to choose the women from nowhere. Anyway, I won't take so much of a time. Can we kindly have a
quick contribution, Margladys? Just a quick one. Just a quick contribution, okay. Just on the point Bamkeleba just made.
Okay.
You know, to top it all, of all the truth that he has just said, we are coming from a really toxic political environment in our country. It was so toxic to an extent that the few women that managed to stand, I actually admire them. I think Nangutwaingira Muring one-on-one with Tibampu. because the political environment was so toxic, it was so degrading, it was so segregative. All the negative words that you can think about, you can use them actually to describe the previous political atmosphere that was in our country. But going forward, Mr. Mukelewa just brought very fantastic points. First, we need to focus on developing the girl child. The girl child has lagged behind in so many areas of developmental growth and just emotionally, physically, all these other aspects that support human growth. The girl child they've been left out. So we need to focus on pushing the girl child, putting them as center stage in this dispensation. I hope the president is listening. If he's not, I'm sure for the first lady is listening. We need to focus on the girl child. Secondly, also
Gladys, there's a
easy for
question.
women to join political office.
What is the question, Jerome?
No, it's me. It's Chairman. I've been reading the comments.
Yes.
The question is for you, Gladys, actually. It says, what is Amasa Mpiri, whatever word you used? Actually, I also want to know.
Amasa Mpwiti.
Amasa Mpwiti.
What's
Amasa
that?
Mpwiti. Nowadays we've modernized the dressing code. Ama rugs, ama jean rugs. Ayayo tule tufala ayatulika pakati payanisha umuntu alichula masa mpwiti, but today it's style, it's fashion. Masa mpwiti alya.
Thank you for saying that, because at least now the people who are asking, they also understand like myself. Thanks.
I almost misconstrued it. I thought Mwalanda kwati bakainde baba chitire misunderstood pari bapunyoko. I thought Mwalanda sorry to say, but something like that. Sorry.
Mwala tutukana.
Copper belt language.
Sorry, Gladys, is it okay if I just chip in because I have this burning thought?
Yes.
Yes, please. Can you please be brief so that we can also take other people to contribute?
Okay, so just on the topic of women participation, first of all, I think we need to be very competitive as a country. When it comes to salaries, they're very low. Starting from the president, ministries, if we want to attract talent, that is women out there in the diaspora, we need to elevate salaries. And I promise you, when you do that, you will attract a lot of women coming into politics and wanting to contribute. Because for me to give up my job and come into politics, I've got a family to feed, So we need to be competitive in how we hire people and how we search for talent. And then just on the second note of women, I think there's a lot of sabotage and self-hate. There's a lot of women who don't believe that women have the potential and the capacity to lead and to be able to take up these roles. I think women need to start to believe in themselves, have confidence, and be able to empower each other in the sense that you can do it and there's no time like today. Thank you.
Can I contribute to what Joanna said, Gladys?
Who's this? Can you kindly just just
Tobias.
1 minute, please. 1 minute so that we can have other people also to contribute.
Yes, I think I just want to say, I think this is what Joanne and already Keleba has alluded to. There is what is called patriarchy. Patriarchy is whereby we have canonized or we have normalized the thinking that men are superior over women through our culture. And as long as that thinking already from our homes, from our culture, does not stop, and if we do not eliminate patriarchy, we are not going to encourage women to enter politics. And I think one way to improve the number of women in politics is to bring about the quota system, where we say, since there are about 60% of women voting, we also need to say every party must bring to the party must bring to election so many women, and they must support them financially to enter into politics, and should try to encourage their constituencies to vote for those women. So I think patriarchy, we must begin to interrogate that, especially as Zambians. We still do not consider women as people who can be good leaders. That's why we are voting in few women in parliament. And we also must deliberately use the quota systems, whereby we need every year we take about a certain percentage of women to be encouraged to get to parliament or into leadership.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Tobias. 1 minute now, Pwakale.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, can I pick on another lady? Ladies first. Beauty, can you kindly just comment? 1 minute, please.
Hi, Gladys. I don't even know what I'm commenting about, but coming to the issue of SJ or SG being investigated, well, but our president has already said to the police to clear the the prisons and and make room for other people. So this is just he's gonna get investigated, and in due course he's gonna find himself where he belongs. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody knows that. And he's not the only one. A lot of people are going to be following him. Why did APF lose elections? It's because of the young people. They didn't have any jobs. They had their education. They didn't have any jobs. Corruption. They were very arrogant, each one of them. There was no leader in that country. I don't think there was a leader. Or, there was a guy called Lungu, but he wasn't a leader, right? What else? Tribalism, all of us would just be sitting here and saying, yeah, go ahead and vote them in again. All those things. As for women, yes, we need to sell ourselves, a little bit more better than we've done in the past. There was a lady, though, I was very impressed with recently. I can't remember her name, but Jerome, maybe you know her. She's a neighbor to what's his name, Bowman Lusambo, and I think somebody had gone to her house to go and ask her to go and get a petition from the police or something like that, police station. And there were some Chinese people in a tinted vehicle. Did you see that on YouTube?
Yes, yes, I saw that. No, I've forgotten the name. The one who was following Bowman Nusambo, and all that after the elections, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
Yeah.
She lives very close to Bowman Lusambo, but one day she got a vehicle come to her house to bring her to the police station, apparently because she was being summoned to go and get a petition or whatever it is. After
1 minute
14
is over.
days. Oh, one.
Right.
Okay.
Now, I would like to kindly ask whether we can move to the background, because we've already overshot by a few minutes. And so can we move into the background, and then we'll be back tomorrow?
Yes, please.
Good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. This has been TV Bakwetu. God bless you, and God bless our country. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Gladys, for moderating this discussion. And thank you again to all of our TV Bakwetu friends. We really, really appreciate you. And so we are now going to go back into the background discussion. Good night.